For some time now, there has been several conversations about the urgent need to build patriotism and inculcate national core values in the minds of young Nigerians, which led to the introduction of civic education into the Nigeria education curriculum. This is also the crux of the discussions at the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development Leadership Summit in Abuja, as discussants x-ray the reasons why national core values have degenerated in Nigeria and its implications on national development.
National core values are indeed the radar, the roadmap, and the ideological framework of governance, and for piloting state affairs to meet the core objectives of providing for and protecting human welfare and security in a polity. Core values are fading in Nigeria today in terms of the action or inaction of both our leaders and our citizens. Progressively, rather than seeing remarkable improvements, we are seeing degeneration.
Part of the reason why similar development plans failed in the past was because of lack of ownership, which stemmed from the poor understanding of citizenship on part of the people.
The urgent need for political leaders to lead by example is also emphasized by some participants, just as the Minister of Sports decried the lack of a robust reward system in the society as another reason why corruption flourishes.
And one of the major factors is the collapse of our reward system. Our reward system had collapsed. So it's even criminal in this country for you to have integrity.
It is arguably the desire of every citizen to live in a thriving economy and peacefully coexist. And the consensus at this conference is that there is an urgent need to imbibe core national values, which some have identified as the foundation for a strong economy.
Welcome back. We've got Professor Anthony Kila, who is a member of NIM's steering committee. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, yes, indeed. We do know that several meetings have been going on, including the one that took place over the weekend. We understand that coalition, different groups, talking about mergers here, mergers there, so that they put up a front for 2019. But we've also seen in today's Daily Telegraph, for instance, where they're highlighting 2019. PDP has no candidate to match Buhari as ascribed to the national chairman of the APC. Do you think that your coalition can provide an alternative?
Do I think we can? I think we should, rather than can we. I think we should provide a very clear perspective, which is fresh, which is different, which is transparent and accountable for a very clear, defined future for Nigeria.
So what's the state of things at the moment now?
The state of things at the moment is driving two issues. One is values and programs, and the other is driving people to back it up. In the process of finding people to back it up, we start from citizens. Our idea is a bottom-up approach, unlike what has been done in this country, when so far a few people, albeit influential people, get together, form a party, choose candidates, and just tell people to follow them, you know, like in a closed box. We're trying to change that. We're trying to get people together first, agree what we want, not forever, agree what we want for exactly 4 years, and based on that, set out a program. Let me tell you something new what we're trying to do. For the first time, we're trying to get people to employ governors and presidents. Not candidates saying, this is me, come and vote for me. We're trying to say, this Nigerian entity, this union, this diverse, complex, needy union, these are the set of things we want to achieve in the next 4 years. Come and apply. Who can do it? So that's the way we're looking at it.
Are the people in the position to do that?
Oh, yes, they are. I mean, it's amazing what is going on in the country. And I think because we're not being rowdy about it, because we're not throwing out big statements and splashing money and buying people and having, rallies with violence. I think people are not aware. Some people are not aware. Those are involved are very aware. We're at a stage where quietly, in a very orderly manner, in a very deliberate manner, people are getting together and are getting ready to take, as it were, their destiny into their own hands.
Is this a democratic strategy, one will wonder, because if you have to employ people to go into sensitive positions, the governorship, for instance, maybe House of Representatives too, yeah. And you have to do that by employing them. Is that democratic? Absolutely, because you pay them with votes, not with money. It's not an employment where you say, this is me, how much are you going to pay me? It's an employment in the sense that we want to leave the sense of sovereignty, which has not been learned in this country. You see, and it's not a matter of just 16 years from now. It's been ongoing for over 40 years, perhaps more, in this country. Because if you look at it, so far, we have always had a sort of delegated anger, delegated intervention. Before now, in Nigeria, when we had problems, what happened is some people got together and staged a coup when the government wasn't doing well. When democracy came, some people got together and offered another kind of union or another kind of proposal. What the third force, what the national intervention movement is trying to do, for the first time in history, we say, let us express our desire ourselves.
Part of the reason why I asked,
yes.
Are the people in a position to do that? I asked that because, look, are they in a position to overcome or resist what they're going to be offered in order to vote? Because you're talking about those who will vote, including in the rural areas. Are they in a position to say, well, my vote has to count. I'm ready to stand the heat and stay in the kitchen. Are they in a position to say, listen, I will stand here and ensure that these things happen? So, are they in that position?
Well, a lot of people are already. You see,
no, a lot of people. Is it sufficient to warrant that employment which you seek?
Which I seek. Yeah, it is sufficient in this sense. A lot of people are already, because a lot of people have felt the brunt of the way things have been going thus far. So they're sort of hot enough, bright enough to say, hang on a second, let's change it. Those people who are bright enough, who are burnt enough to understand that things need to be changed, those are the ones that are going to influence the ones you're worried about. We need to get to a point to start telling people that what is the sense of paying somebody to work for you? And that is why we talk about educating and empowering people and engaging them. We need to educate them to see that